Hey everyone, happy holidays. This is Steve in Corvallis, and we're going to go ahead and get some bowl picks in here for the 2013-2014 college football bowl season. And we're also going to try to get some college basketball picks in there, and we're going to, again, have our special co-host. I'm going to go ahead and start calling my wife Misty my co-host. And we can all look forward to that. We're going to get to some picks first, though. So we're gonna make you wait a little bit for that. But she's going to be in here in a second to get some of her plays in. So you can look forward to that. So first off, the first bowl game out of the gate: Washington State and Colorado State, two teams that have not been bowling for a long time. Washington State's had a 10-year bowl absence. Colorado State's been out for 5. So. WSU is a very trendy pick here. Mike Leach's air raid offense, of course, puts up the 5th most passing yards in the country, and Colorado State's defense is not very much up to par. So Washington State's a very trendy pick here. They're a very sexy pick here. I think it's kind of a trap, to be honest. I'm not taking Colorado State, but I like the over in this. As square as that might look, 66 is a good number, especially with that. Colorado State's passing defense is very poor, second worst in the Mountain West Conference, and they scored a lot of points late, and their defensive numbers look a little bit better than they actually probably are, simply because they played New Mexico and Air Force late, and those two teams do nothing but run. So Colorado State's passing defense is quite poor. And I really believe that Halliday's 55 passes a game, they're just going to slice up Colorado State. That said, Washington State's defense is even worse. They're the worst bowl defense out there. So right now, I just think this is going to be a tremendous shootout. I'm not taking a side, but I like the over. Second play is Northern Illinois over Utah State. I think that Utah State is a bit of an enigma without Chucky Keaton, and without their leading rusher as well is out. And Northern Illinois with Lynch back there, he just really wears teams down, which is as evidence of their 12-point margin in second halves of all of their football games. Northern Illinois, Utah State lives by the sack, really, on defense. They have a tremendous speed pass rush. Northern Illinois has only been sacked. Lynch has only been sacked 9 times all year. I think that he will evade that rush quite well. I think Northern Illinois will win this game pretty comfortably. So I like Northern Illinois -1.5 in that game. The last bowl game I like is Oregon State. I know I sound like a homer with that, but Oregon State's very well prepared in bowl games. Mike Riley was 5-0 in his first 5 bowl games. The last 2 they have not covered, but they haven't really been motivated. The last 2 bowl games Oregon State's been in, they expected better bowls, and they were kind of a consolation prize. They're they feel very fortunate to have gotten into this bowl game after losing 5 straight to end the year, and this is a retribution for them. Boise State's in a big mess with all of their coaching change, and Boise State's 91st pass defense, and I think that Sean Mannion and company will shred them up. As much as I don't like DJ Alexander being out for this game, part of that 1-2 convoy of Scott Crichton and DJ Alexander on defense for Oregon State, I still like Oregon State to be prepared enough to easily cover the 3 points in that game. So those are our 3 bowl picks. We're going to get into a couple college basketball games here. Friday night, there's a very intriguing matchup, SMU at Wyoming. SMU is a very trendy pick. I like to think of a contrarian angle for these, and that is that Wyoming, in that altitude there, it is a very nice pick here. They have a very dynamic front line led by Nance there, and Cook, who's just a tremendous rebounder. So they have a very imposing front line. SMU's huge. They're guard-oriented as far as their stylistics, but they're very, very big. SMU is with Larry Brown is one dynamic team with all those transfers that they have in there. But I like Wyoming in this spot, especially if they're an underdog. If that game is 3 points or less, Wyoming favorite, I'm taking the Cowboys in that spot. I think that SMU is a little bit overvalued here, and they've played very well. They're 9-2, but I like Wyoming in this spot coming off a very tough loss. But Wyoming is deliberate. They're very, very difficult at home. I like the Cowboys in that spot. Couple of basketball games on Saturday. Quickly, UMass at Florida State or versus Florida State in a neutral site. I'm looking at Florida State there. I haven't decided yet, but two plays that I'm looking very heavily at is BYU at Oregon. Those teams have very similar stylistics, and but I really like the way that player for player that Brigham Young matches up with Oregon, and that is going to be an absolute shootout with two teams that almost mirror each other as far as their fingerprint of what those two teams try to do. And Oregon is very highly valued, and they should be, because they're an undefeated basketball team that last 5 games have had 5 players in double figures. They go 10 deep. With Mike Mosier now, and on that front line, Oregon is going to be one tough team to face in the Pac-12 conference. They are a dark horse to win the Pac-12, unfortunately. And so the other play I like Georgia Tech if they are +3 or more in Vandy. Georgia Tech is the kind of bullish front line that Vandy really has not seen yet. And Vandy is in the bottom third offensive proficiency, and Georgia Tech is just too strong defensively. I think Georgia Tech wins that game outright in Nashville against the Commodores. So those are some plays that we've got. So without further ado, as promised, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my co-host here, my wife, Misty. Come on in. I think she's got some picks for us today.
I do. So, hi. So I got 2 picks, 2 bowl game picks for you guys tonight. The first is the Las Vegas Bowl. USC to beat up on Fresno State. I think the Trojan defense should be motivated enough to dominate the Bulldogs, and then that's going to easily cover the 6-point spread.
That makes sense.
And then second is the San Francisco Fight Hunger Bowl. And BYU, I'm going to go with BYU to beat Washington, and this is why. The Huskies are overrated. They peaked here in Corvallis about a month ago against our Beavers. Go Beavs. And Washington is still all mired up in that whole coaching change they got going on. And BYU is just more experienced, better coaching, and they played a schedule that allowed for them to be more prepared for a bowl game coming up. So that's my 2 picks. So let's go out there, make some money, get some extra special gifts for someone special. Hint, hint. Me.
Got it. Okay, you guys, you got that? Okay, so that's going to do. So that's going to wrap it up here. So those are some picks for you guys. So you know what to do with your money when you win. Mm-hmm. It needs to go this way. Yep. You know how that works. Yep. So everyone have a great holiday season. Kill the books in the bowls, and we will talk to everybody real soon. And we got to get this little guy in here a little bit. He's got to have a little camera time, even though you can't really see him. But in any case, so everybody have a great holiday season and make some money. And we will talk to you all real soon.
Bye.
See you later.